The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense intelligence update on Ukraine, June 5, 2023. Over the course of May 2023, Russia launched over 300 Iranian Shahed series one-way attack uncrewed aerial vehicles against Ukraine, its most intense use of this weapon system to date. Russia is probably launching so many one-way attack uncrewed aerial vehicles in an attempt to force Ukraine to fire stocks of valuable advanced air defense missiles. Russia is unlikely to have been notably successful. Ukraine has neutralized at least 90% of the incoming one-way attack uncrewed aerial vehicles, mostly using its older and cheaper air defense weapons and with electronic jamming. Russia has also likely been attempting to locate and strike Ukrainian forces well behind the front line. However, Russia remains very ineffective at hitting such dynamic targets at range because of its poor targeting processes. The Institute for the Study of War, Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. Russian and Ukrainian officials are signaling the start of the Ukrainian counteroffensive. The Institute for the Study of War offers no assessment of these signals at this time. The Russian Ministry of Defense claimed on June 5 that Ukrainian forces conducted a large-scale offensive across 5 sectors of the front line in southwestern Donetsk Oblast on June 4. The Russian Ministry of Defense claimed that Russian forces repelled all Ukrainian attacks and assigned Chief of the Russian General Staff Army General Valery Gerasimov to oversee the southwestern Donetsk front line. Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar noted on June 5 that Ukrainian forces are transferring to offensive actions in some unspecified areas of the front. Maliar added that Russian sources are actively spreading information about the Ukrainian counteroffensive to deflect attention from Russian losses in the Bakhmut direction. The Russian Ministry of Defense's claims that Russian forces immediately repelled Ukrainian counteroffensives are consistent with previous false Russian claims made during past counteroffensives. Ukrainian forces are likely making limited gains despite Russian denials. The Institute for the Study of War will not attempt to assess at this time whether or not these gains are part of broader counteroffensive operations. The Institute for the Study of War observed an increase in combat activity in different sectors of the front line, but will not speculate about the intent, weight, or focus of Ukrainian counteroffensive operations. A successful counteroffensive operation may take days, weeks, or even months before its outcome becomes fully clear, during which time Russian sources may falsely claim to have defeated it. The Institute for the Study of War key takeaways today. Ukrainian forces conducted limited successful offensives north and southwest of Bakhmut. The pro-Ukrainian All-Russian Russian Volunteer Corps claimed that it continues to operate in a Russian border settlement in Belgorod Oblast as of June 5. Chechen Republic head Ramzan Kadyrov claimed that Chechen forces are ready to defend against raids in Belgorod Oblast, likely partially in order to keep his forces out of combat in Ukraine. The Russian Black Sea Fleet is attempting to mitigate complications with logistical support in occupied Crimea by shifting resources to mainland Russia. Wagner Group financier Yevgeny Prigozhin is continuing efforts to exacerbate the divide between the Wagner Group and the Russian Ministry of Defense. Russian military bloggers responded to the video of Lieutenant Colonel Venevitin with concern, indicating that several prominent pro-war voices are becoming increasingly concerned over the ramifications of the Wagner Ministry of Defense divide. Russian forces reportedly conducted unsuccessful reconnaissance in-force operations northeast of Kharkiv city and continued limited ground attacks northeast of Kupiansk and along the Svatov-Kreminna line. Russian forces continued limited offensive operations on the Avdiivka-Donetsk city line. Ukrainian forces continued ground attacks in western Donetsk and eastern Zaporizhia oblasts and made further limited tactical gains. Ukrainian forces continue to target rear Russian positions throughout southern Ukraine. Iran has allegedly signed contracts with Russia for about $1.74 million in ammunition for Russia to use in Ukraine. Ukrainian sources and Belarusian sources indicated that Belarus has been involved in the forced deportation of Ukrainian children.